Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the most industrial stream on a Tuesday night. Yes, it is I, Pop, and in case you're new here, this is Trades Talk, where we talk about the skilled trades, how to get into them, what to expect. We'll also check out some pictures, some videos, all of that from your industrial stream. But before we get all to that, we usually hit up the news to see what's going on out in industry. You can sort of tell what the economy is doing by how things are being built, whether the factories are being built or whether they're being shut down, and who's going on strike and all that other kind of good stuff. But first, I'd like to say hello to you, David Glenn. Nice to see you back, David. Hope you had a good time there. Get all rested up. I saw your tweet there on Twitter about the AI, blowing sunshine up your arse. And I'm like, you know what? This deserves a bit of a comment. So I thought I'd throw that out there. All right, let's get to it here. We'll go to Plant Magazine. And here's something I saw. That's the CIB announces $194 million partnership with Jolt. And right away when I saw Jolt, I thought the cola. Those of you that were around in the 90s might remember Jolt Cola. And I was also like, well, what is the CIB about? So I didn't know. I don't know what that was going on. Remind you of a relative that needs money. So this says the CIB investment will facilitate the installation of up to 1,500 new curbside EV chargers in urban centers, ensuring Canadians have access to convenient charging options. Okay, that's great, but do you have the infrastructure to get the electricity to the charging, the chargers, I should say? Do you have that? If you don't, you're gonna fail. But let's see what's going on here. The Canada Infrastructure Bank. Okay, so that's the CIB. And Jolt have announced a $194 million loan agreement to enable the expansion of Jolt's electric vehicle charging network across Canada. The CIB investment will facilitate the installation of up to 1,500 new curbside EV chargers in urban centers, ensuring Canadians have access to convenient charging options. Yo, what's up, DJ Ronnie G? What's up, DJ? You just getting home? Jolts? Who needs a power grid? Who does? Put your hand up if you need a power grid. That's only if you have an electric car, which I do not. I have no plans of getting an electric car ever. Jolt's EV charging stations combine technology with fast charging for a reportedly reliable user experience. Well, we'll see about that. Each station provides up to 7 kilowatt hours of free fast charging per car per day, equivalent to approximately 50 kilometers of driving range. Okay. The CIB and Jolt's partnership supports the goal of increasing the quantity of available and availability of electric vehicle charging options, which will make EV ownership more accessible. You need a 24-volt, 5-amp power supply. I'm sure they could help you out, David. No problem. Or either that or Amazon. Through the Charging and Hydrogen Refueling Infrastructure Initiative, the CIB collaborates with EV charging network owners and operators to accelerate the private sector's rollout of large-scale charging infrastructure across Canada. This project reportedly marks the CIB's fourth CHRI investment and its third in EV charging infrastructure. Curbside fast charging is critical to the transition to electric vehicles and providing fast, free charging to those who do not have access to off-street charging is Jolt's goal for its expansion in Canada. Jolt's partnership with CIB is a testament to our shared commitment to innovation and sustainability. By expanding our EV charging infrastructure, we are making electric vehicle ownership more accessible and convenient for all Canadians. said Doug McNamee, Chief Executive Officer of Jolt. That's fine. They also have to get the government to, run bigger power lines, more of them. If you can't supply your charging stations, you're not going to have any luck. And you better make them so they're almost indestructible, because I think a lot of people are going to vandalize these things. Hey, Godzillionaire! What's happening, man? Everyone's favorite kaiju has arrived. 24 volt, 5 amp power supply. What? You may have a spare 12 volt, 10 amp. Oh, there you go. Maybe DJ can hook you up there, David. Just put 2 of those in series there. You'll have 12 volts, no problem. Okay, well, that was that. Let's move along here. What's going on? Trudeau says the U.S. has launched a trade war. Canada is fighting back. Yeah, right. Let's see what these guys have to say, whether they are trying to fearmonger. Prime Minister Numbskull says that the U.S. has launched a continental trade war and Canada is fighting back. Speaking directly to U.S. President Donald Trump, Trudeau says enacting the tariffs is a very dumb thing to do. Well, if anybody would know about dumb things, it's Trudeau. He's about the dumbest human on the face of the earth, and yeah, I would be very glad once he is gone. He should be, stepping down, leaving, going away, never showing his face again, all that good stuff. So is the stream going to be 25% shorter due to tariffs? I don't know. No, tariffs won't affect me. It's okay. Canada is immediately imposing 25% retaliatory tariffs on $30 billion worth of American products and will expand that to cover another $125 billion in U.S. goods in 21 days. Numbskull also says that Canada will file claims with the World Trade Organization and through the Canada-U.S.-Mexico Free Trade Agreement. Yeah, I'm sure he even knows what those are all about. Numbskull says the federal government will be there to support Canadians no matter the cost. Oh, I don't like the sound of that. Whenever any politician says no matter the cost, it usually means it's going to cost everybody everything. Including with enhancements to employment insurance and measures to protect businesses from potential predatory takeovers. Yeah, employment insurance, enhancements to employment insurance means the government's going to be printing money like crazy and throwing it at people. While Trump's order imposing the tariffs references national security concerns and about drugs and illegal immigration at the Canadian border, in a post today on Truth Social, he says if companies move to the U.S., there will be no tariffs. And I know I know he wants to get companies there to make stuff in America, and that's great. Do that, for sure. And what we can do is, shore up our border. I said this weeks ago, guys. You know it. I said we have to just stop the drugs and, better border patrol and security. But nope, they decide to wreck everybody. And that's their ultimate goal, is just to wreck the common man. What's up, James? How you doing? No matter the cost. Optimus Prime minutes before that. Yes, Megatron must be stopped, no matter the cost. Festo announces new North American CEO. Nah. 2/3 of businesses can weather a trade war that lasts more than a year, KPMG survey. Okay, let's have a look here. I think we'll be okay. It's just, people are just losing their minds for no reason. Let's see here. 2/3, or 67% of Canadian business leaders say they can weather a trade war that lasts more than a year, finds a new survey by KPMG in Canada taken last week. Over 8 in 10, 86% continue to support retaliatory tariffs against the U.S., the same sentiment held a month ago when KPMG first surveyed corporate Canada on their tariff response. According to KPMG, the uncertainty around U.S. trade policy has had Canadian companies rushing to find ways to mitigate the risk. and tariff-proof their organization. I mean, if you sell your stuff to other countries, you should be okay. If your sole customer is the United States, yeah, they're going to put taxes or tariffs on your goods coming into the country. That's all there is to it. James, you're somewhat miserable. Teeth pain due to cavities. 6 more days. Oh, man. You have to wait 6 more days. You poor bugger. Man, I hope you can get that fixed up. Though that's the absolute worst is tooth pain because there's nothing you can do about it. What do we got here? According to KPMG, the uncertainty around U.S. trade policy. Oh, right. The company says, while it varies by company and industry, mitigation strategies include identifying areas to optimize and streamline operations, forming partnerships to open up new markets, diversifying supply chains, divesting non-core activities, exploring foreign exchange hedging opportunities, incorporating tariff and transfer pricing plans, seeking exemptions and securing subsidies, or taking advantage of tax incentives. Sounds like more government handouts. The business community remains unwavering in its commitment to stand up for Canada, says Timothy Prince, Canadian management partner for clients and markets, KPMG in Canada. The size of the tariffs and the length of time tariffs remain in place will impact their ability to weather the coming storm. Already, the uncertainty is prompting companies to examine every facet of their business to understand their options, with 3/4 already undertaking a strategic review of their operations. While they will do what they must to ride this out, they expect governments to take bold action to eliminate interprovincial barriers. And I don't know if you guys have that, but up here, even between provinces, there's like trade barriers, if you can believe it. You know, we're all one country, but between the provinces, there's like trade barriers. Is that what it's like for you guys in the States too? Do you guys have like state trade barriers or stuff like that? I'm just curious if it's the same, because then you understand what it's like. They'll build a national energy agnostic corridor, reduce red tape, and revamp the tax system to improve their ability to compete. As many as 86% say it's time to diversify energy export markets with increased pipelines and infrastructure in Western and Eastern Canada, and reduce our reliance on having to move oil and gas to Eastern Canada through the U.S. And James is right. The government can only give what they took from somewhere else. Don't forget that. Yes. Oh, someone else. Not somewhere else. Someone else. According to the survey, nearly 9 in 10 want strong and determined political will at all levels of government to finally open up a trade within Canada. As many as 84% say the elimination of interprovincial barriers will be extremely or very important to the survival of their businesses in a trade war with the U.S. and want barriers removed as quickly as possible. Almost a third say they could redirect 11 to 25% of their sales to markets in Canada. As many as 96% of Canadians in a separate consumer poll want interprovincial barriers removed. And 91% say the trade war has convinced them that Canada needs to maintain its dairy, eggs, and poultry supply management system. I mean, I know a lot of people go across the border to buy cheaper eggs, milk, butter, cheese. That's only if they live close to the border, though. This is KPMG's second survey of business leaders in a month, reportedly completed last week. The survey captures the opinions of 602 business leaders from primarily mid-sized and large companies across Canada and industry sectors. Just over 51% run companies in 2 industries that are expected to be hit the hardest by U.S. import duties: industrial manufacturing and energy and natural resources. Key survey findings. This is sort of the numbers we went through already. Tariffs during the first Trump administration on Canadian steel and aluminum lasted almost a year. The survey found that while 2/3 of business leaders say their company can withstand a tariff war that lasts more than a year, 30% say their company will face significant profit losses. If a tariff war lasts more than a year, and the remaining 3% say their companies will go out of business if it lasts beyond 1 year. We're not supposed to have internal trade barriers like that. They put stuff like weights and measures into the Constitution to attempt to make things more uniform. Okay, that's good, James. Canadians from Thunder Bay are always in Duluth buying things and leaving us. Yes. Yeah, I know, David. So when I used to live by the border, you'd just be like, you know what? That's a nice day. I'm going to pop down for some gas because it was cheaper. You get some gas, you get some milk, eggs, cheese, whatever. You just drive through the border, you come back, and you're like, yeah, I bought some gas, eggs, milk, cheese, blah, blah, blah. And they usually didn't hassle you too much. And that was it. No big deal. Half say they're already reducing production or laying off employees in anticipation of tariffs, and more than a quarter will start reducing headcount and production 4 to 6 months into a tariff war. By this time next year, now let's see if this comes true. By this time next year, 50% expect their headcount to decrease in Canada, highlighting the need for businesses to accelerate mitigation efforts and governments to move quickly to lift economic growth. But without trade barriers and regulation, how will we launder money? Yeah, exactly, Godzillionaire. You think you hit it right on the nose there. Doom and gloom, if it bleeds, it leads, eh? Yeah, James. Yep. That's all you're getting from these guys. Good news doesn't sell newspapers. So true. Yeah. Nobody buys the newspaper that says, hey, everything, job completed successfully, no injuries. Everybody's like, meh. But if you're like, catastrophe, people died, this happened, and they're like, oh, we got to snap that up. It says here, it's imperative that companies future-proof their operations and take a hard look at their supply chains to find key concentration risks and vulnerabilities. Evaluate how tariffs will impact their costs, cash flow, and liquidity, and how much they're able to absorb or pass on to their customers, says Tammy Brown, National Industry Leader for Industrial Markets, KPMG in Canada. We are working with our clients to develop scenario plans to map potential trade policy changes and impacts on their organizations. This will help build resiliency and flexibility in their supply chains to react quickly and effectively as the landscape changes. And while many were already focused on optimizing their operations, this trade uncertainty has created a new sense of urgency. With most already undertaking a strategic review of their operations, 77% will identify potential acquisition and divestiture opportunities as part of their mitigation strategy, and 78% admit they need to build resiliency into their supply chains, the survey shows. Bob Marley. Everything is going to be alright. Yeah, man. You hope so, anyway. The weak Canadian dollar against its U.S. counterpart will partially or fully offset the negative impacts of tariffs. Yeah, I think I checked the other day, and it was like, to the U.S. dollar, Canada's dollar is worth 69 cents. So, I mean, you're still getting a deal buying Canadian stuff. Lord, what a truckload of corporate bullshit. Yes, James, it is. Another 10% say the low Canadian dollar will put them in a net positive position. That is, they will make more money than they will lose from tariffs. The survey also found that then 6 in 10 would consider shifting some of their production activities to the U.S. as a mitigation tactic if tariffs are imposed. In a KPMG survey a month ago, 48% said they plan to shift investment or production to the U.S. While shifting operations to the U.S. is one way to mitigate tariffs, the economics must be carefully examined, said Lachlan Wolfers. Well, that's quite the name. National leader of KPMG Law in Canada. There are many factors to consider, including navigating employment and environment regulations, building new supplier and customer relationships, and managing U.S. and Canadian tax complexities. Yeah, but there's people to do that. You already have, you go to the U.S. and be like, hey, I need a public accountant that knows U.S. tax law. And I'm sure people will be like, yeah, I do. Yep. Okay. Like, they make it sound harder than it actually is. Relocation tends to be much less common ultimate response rate now, but these decisions should always be made with a longer-term investment horizon. According to the survey, business leaders are also looking abroad for new markets. About half say they have 3 to 5 alternative markets. for their products other than the US, and 27% have one or two alternative markets, but half say it will be challenging for them to shift business to another jurisdiction in the short and medium term. That's what losers sound like. You know, if you're saying it's going to be challenging to shift to another jurisdiction, you're a loser. And, you know, you don't have the drive to make your business better and bigger. So you deserve to fail. Don't say it's going to be challenging to move to another jurisdiction. People do it all the time. Just-in-time delivery is not conducive to resilience. Yes, just-in-time really is something that sounds good, but it's not good for people that need stuff right now. Still costs $1 million to send a package either way across the border. Yeah, there you go. Just-in-time delivery is a business school pipe dream unless someone in the supply chain is sitting on inventory. It's just too late. Yeah, 100% Godzillionaire, like what James said. Just-in-time stuff. Yeah, it's with that Six Sigma or whatever, or you know, they want to have. Nobody wants to have any stock on the shelves, but they want to be able to get it, you know, within a week. Pick something resilient supply chains or just-in-time chains. Can't move your business. I spent too much money bribing people in this. Good point, Godzillionaire. Yep, I think you hit a nail on the head again. Well, that's it for this news from Plant Magazine. Not a lot. Not a very busy news week, but, you know, everyone was losing their mind over the tariffs. I'm not worried about it at all. I'm pretty indifferent. Yeah, we sell some of our stuff to the U.S., but, you know, I don't know. Is he gonna tariff dangerous chemicals? Hey, what's up, Rocker? Over on the Twitch side. So are USA's new tariffs going to affect supply lines into Canada? Surprisingly, I was watching it won't be picture time yet, David. Not yet. I was watching a YouTube short about a guy explaining what the tariffs were going to be like, and the U.S. imports way more Canadian goods than Canada imports American goods. So I think that it's going to affect you guys more, because all the good, well, it'll affect us lots because we send well, how did I see that video again? I'm just trying to remember now. They showed it on there, and it's like, we import way more stuff from the US. No, you guys import way more stuff from us than we import from you guys. Anyways, it's going to hurt us because all the tariffs are going to be on the Canadian goods that go there. It'll be different than anyone predicts. Yeah. We don't, like, the ultimate goal for me is that they want to hurt the average guy, just the average worker. They're gonna want to grind everybody down so they have nothing. Okay, that's it for that. Let's go over to this. I found this article over on CTV News. CTV is one of the media companies in Canada. They do, they have like news channel and all that. High school students across Windsor, Essex, descended on St. Clair College on Saturday to test their trade skills. As a pre-qualifier for the Provincial Skills Ontario competition later this spring, students competed in precision machining, carpentry, plumbing, culinary, and various other trades. Inside the school's automotive building, instructor John Camaraleri and representatives from the automotive industry searched for more than a winner. So they're actually talking to shop owners or supervisors that actually are involved in hiring, Camilleri said. They get to kind of talk to them, and they get the feel of the students. They get to talk to the students, which could potentially land them a job. Most importantly, hope, James. Yes, hopeless people do not rebel. Yep. You always have to have hope. Don't make it your main strategy, but always have it there in the back of your mind. Throughout the morning, 19 students showed their knowledge of automotive work, including tires, brakes, and batteries. In working with the Windsor Professional Automotive Repair Association, Camilleri said 8 industry representatives helped students complete their tasks. The top 3 winners would also be offered summer internships and accrue service time, which could later be applied to apprenticeships. Labeled as Canada's automotive capital, Camilleri said the region remains rich with job opportunities in the industry. Organizers hoped the event would allow students to dabble in their chosen trade and shore up any uncertainty about their career future. Camilleri noted a labor shortage continues to impact many skilled trades industries in addition to automotive services. Gee, how are they going to fix all the electric cars if you don't have enough, mechanics to take care of them? You only got your first professional job because you went to a job fair and talked to multiple hiring managers, not just submitting a resume online. Attaboy, Godzillionaire. That's the way to do it. Talk to people. Get yourself out there. Okay, this isn't a very long article at all. The problem now is that we're getting more retiring than we have coming in. So there's actually a shortage in the trade. So now these people that are still in the trade are actually getting paid more money, he said. Saturday's skills competition included students from the Greater Essex County District School Board, the Windsor Essex Catholic District School Board, Lambton Kent District School Board, and Conseil Scolaire Catholique Providence. The winner in each trade will move on to the Skills Ontario competition held in Toronto in May. Why work so hard if there's no chance of improved conditions? Yeah, well, the cream always rises to the top. So as long as you are good at what you do, you should be able to get a job in that field. Y2K was your entrance to the corporate world? Oh, making sure everything was Y2K compliant there, David? That was a big scam too, apparently. A lot of people fell for that one. That was that one. Here's one I found on a place called The News. Oh, air conditioning, heating, and refrigeration news. Elon Musk touts the trades. The tech guru said electricians and plumbers are more important than political science majors. Hey! Good job, Elon. Did I just quote Macho Man Randy Savage? Ooh, yeah, brother. Slip into a Slim Jim. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, maybe, if he said something like that. During a political rally last year, Elon Musk expressed his support for the trade, stating, "I think that the value of a college education is somewhat overweighted. I think too many people actually spend 4 years accumulating a ton of debt and then don't often have useful skills that they can apply afterwards. I have a lot of respect for people who work with their hands. We need electricians and plumbers and carpenters. That's a lot more important than having incremental political science majors. We should not have this idea that to be successful, you need to have 4 years of college. That is simply not true." And this is Elon saying this. Oh, the cream always rises. Is that what he would say? Oh, yeah, the cream always rises to the top. Ooh, Elizabeth. Yeah. I remember. I was like, I grew up during the whole rock and wrestling generation, so that was good stuff. These comments come at a critical time at which HVACR technicians are nearing retirement. So are a lot of other tradesmen. And the industry faces a shortage of new technicians to take their place. As many are already well aware, the industry's labor shortage is not a new challenge, particularly when it comes to the lack of skilled technicians specializing in commercial refrigeration equipment used in supermarkets, convenience stores, and restaurants. And the situation is only getting worse, with roughly 80,000 HVACR technician jobs currently unfilled, or about 39% of the workforce. Comedian Richard Jenny said the only value to a political science degree is that you can teach political science. It's like a pyramid scheme or Amway. Yes. Yeah, I 100% agree. You know, unless you're gonna teach and become a professor, there's literally no point whatsoever in getting a political science degree. The good news is that Gen Z, or Gen Z, seems to be becoming more interested in the trades. Born between 1997 to 2012, many are just entering the workforce, while others, disillusioned by the job market after earning a degree, are contemplating a career change. And they're enrolling in trade-focused classes. According to an article on the Wall Street Journal, enrollment in vocational training programs is surging as overall enrollment in community colleges and four-year institutions has fallen. The number of students enrolled in vocational-focused community colleges rose 16% last year to its highest level since the National Student Clearinghouse began tracking such data in 2018. The ranks of students studying construction trades rose 23% during that time, while those in programs covering HVAC and vehicle maintenance and repair increased 7%. The article goes on to say that rising wages and technological advancements in industries like HVAC are helping to redefine trade professions, breaking the stereotype of them being dirty or low-status jobs. I mean, a lot of them still are dirty. You're going to get your hands dirty, greasy, oily, whatever it is. Of course, Mike Rowe, host of Dirty Jobs, has been championing this message for years as his hit TV show highlighted the millions of dirty jobs that often go unfilled. His show's success even led to the creation of MicroWorks, a foundation and PR campaign aimed at revitalizing interest in the skilled trades. According to a recent Facebook post, Rowe said the foundation has so far helped train 2,200 people in a variety of essential jobs that don't require a four-year degree, with over 12 million in scholarships. Wow. Given that Musk currently has the ear of President Trump, Rowe appears eager to collaborate with him to highlight the tremendous need for skilled workers in the trades. Continuing in his Facebook post, he noted, "Just because Elon Musk is saying the exact same thing that I've been saying for the last 16 years doesn't mean we'll be working together to challenge the preposterous notion that a four-year degree is the best path for most people. Nor does it mean that we'll be partnering to debunk the stigmas, stereotypes, myths, and misperceptions that have led to the current skills gap threatening to cripple our workforce, or the expensive but necessary business of launching a national effort across all media to reinvigorate the skilled trades in a way that encourages more kids to give the skilled trades an honest look. I can't say with any level of certainty that Elon and I will be joining forces, but I sure would like to." Good for him. Yes, Micro championing the skilled trades. Even Elon is saying it. Like, good for him. He knows he's not an idiot. A lot of people paint him as being an idiot, but I think they just don't get this guy or don't understand him. Like, a guy that comes up with SpaceX, Tesla, like all that stuff. He's got to be smart enough to do that. Some of his ideas though, like the Cybertruck and all that, like that, I don't know how that came around. Like, not the best thing, but if he's gonna be saying that the trades are a good idea, then I hope that it does get to the president's ear, and he's like, you know what, maybe we should start pushing that more in junior high school, rather than having the universities and colleges always trying to persuade people. And really, you know what? It's the colleges and universities really should be begging for students. They should have to prove to the students why they should go there. Oh, please come here because we have this and this and this and this. We have the best of this, the best of that, whatever it is. Students shouldn't beg to go to college or university. It should be the other way around. Will they need tradesmen on Mars? Trades in space! Kind of like the old pigs in space. I see what you're doing there, Godzilla. And it's funny because years ago I'd be like, yeah, I wouldn't mind being a millwright in space or a space right, fixing spaceships or working on the moon base, whatever it is. Well, that's that article. Not very many today. I checked around. These seem like the most interesting ones that I could find, especially when Elon is talking about the trades. That's good stuff. I think there needs to be more. I keep doing it every week, but I'm only one guy. So if we can get more people talking about it and making it more acceptable for the younger generation and they don't look down on people, because as I've shown you guys before, the trades can be very lucrative. You're not living out of your van down by the river. You're buying yourself a brand new car, a brand new house. You're buying all your tools, brand new, high quality stuff, and you're doing what you do, whatever it is for the trades. Whether you're a welder, electrician, millwright, anybody, anything, machinist, tool and die maker, all that kind of stuff. Okay, well, let's move along. It's picture time. It's picture time. I knew you guys were waiting for picture time. David was really jumping the gun. He really wanted it. Okay, so you saw the title of the stream. Pop makes a blunder. Yes, even I make mistakes. And sometimes not so good mistakes. So coming clean with you guys. I did make a mistake. No one's buying houses these days. I mean, yeah, it's rough out there. It's tough all over. Something must be done. Okay, so we'll do this here. All right, guys. So I did make a mistake, okay? I made a blunder, which, a pump that I put back together wasn't running so well. It didn't crash or crater, but it kept kicking out. And I'll show you what I did. It was on this pump here, exactly. These are old pictures, but this is the same pump. And if you look down here, there's a circle clip or a retaining ring or whatever you want to call it. Snap ring. A snap ring that holds this bearing on. But there's two grooves to put snap rings on. And so your old buddy Pop here had trouble getting the I bent the old retaining ring or the snap ring. I bent the old snap ring. So I had to get a different one. I managed to find one. It wasn't exactly right, but I could only put it on the second groove. So this bearing now is able to, once it gets pressure on it, it moved. So it moved the whole impeller. And then that impeller rubbed against the inside of the volute. And so the volute got a little scratched up. And the impeller got a little bit scratched up, a little bit rubbed on it. Doctor calls for a plumber on a Sunday, broken pipe, so the plumber rushes out from the golf course in his Maserati. The doctor sees his car and says, wow, you must really rake it in. I'm a doctor, and I can't afford that. Neither could I when I was a doctor, said the plumber. Nice one. Good one, David. Why on earth would they put circlip rings in? I don't. That's Vertiflow for you, Godzillionaire. I don't know if I know you know Durco, but Vertiflow, not the best designed pump out there. I'm not too happy with it at all. Their designs are terrible. They use internal mechanical seals. They're not external, like you see a lot of pumps that are external. They're inside. And that's just wild to me. But yeah, old pop. I'll take the blame on this one. The circle clip, I put it on the second one rather than the first one. And yeah, now that bearing was able to slide on that shaft. So when it did, it moved and it was able to make contact. The impeller made contact with the volute. So after that, it stopped, it tripped out the motor, and it's like, okay, tripped it out. I'm going to pull the whole pump and see what's wrong. So I disassembled it today. No Godzilla, no cartridge seal or external packing gland. Nope. Nope, not at all. Not this style. There it is right there. That's the mechanical seal, single spring, ceramic. I think it's graphite on ceramic. But that's it there. Yeah, I don't think I got a close up of the mechanical seal in place. Oh no, there it is. So there it is sitting inside there. There's the ceramic surface. And then the rest of it goes in and gets held in by the impeller against the spring. I mean, man, terrible design. I don't like it at all. So I pulled it all apart today. I had a different circle clip or snap ring. I had a different snap ring, a proper sized one. I was able to slide the new bearing on and put it on the very first one right next to it. So that is fitted on there now, and there's no way that thing's going to float anymore. So that was my blunder. Because we were in a panic to get it all taken care of. You know, when you rush things, you're going to make mistakes. Yo, what's up, DJ? You at home now? Yeah, float on. Yep, you got her, David. So it's all back together. It's on the bench, and I'm going to install it tomorrow, where I will use a laser aligner. If you guys aren't aware what a laser aligner is, let's see if I can find one here. Let's see here. Yeah, quote unquote laser. There you go, guys. There's the setup for it. Carry a laser down that road that must travel. Yes. So there's your typical setup is a motor and pump and the coupling in between. Okay, I don't care about that. Okay, so they'll have a lot of shims you can use. There's the setup there. So it comes with the two. One goes on the motor, one goes on the shaft or of the pump. Thanks, see ring section pump. It looks like it, eh? But yeah, there's the tape measure and everything there. It all comes in the package. And then you've got your shims. Where is it here? There they are. There's a bunch of shims there, different thicknesses. It looks like it goes from, well, you can usually go from at least 1 thou all the way up to like 100. This looks like a pretty extensive, oh, and the different sizes. So these are 75 by 75 and those are 50 by 50. Must be mils, must be in millimeters. I use imperial, so I'll use thousandths of an inch. And it tells you how to hook them up. That's what you do. You put those on. And you've got your, it's got an M on it for the motor. So put it on. They made it really easy now. Back in the old times there, when you had to do it with paper and pen and dial indicators, oh man, I'll tell you, that was pretty crazy. Shim shimmery, shim shimmeroo. That's pretty good, James. Yeah. Oh, I like sherry bobbins. I do. It's easier to line things in freedom units. That's why I use them. Yeah, so I've got a little screen to use, an LCD screen as well. I don't think it has like online videos for me to watch, but I just use the manual and it just goes step by step. Yeah, it'll tell you like, here you go, take all the measurements, you know. You can pick your units that you want to use. They're using metric because it's SKF, I guess. So right here, it's telling you to take measurements. The distance between the bolts of the feet of the motor, the distance between the first sensor and the first foot, the distance between both of them, both the sensors. So you get all that distances. You put it in. You also put in the RPM of the motor because it asks for that. Yeah, right now, the distance between the two, yep. So measure that. And so you can input it in, what it happens to be. From the center to the center of that, of the sensor. From the center there over to the first foot, yeah. Maserati sells a quattro port, unlike Ferrari. You're just saying. This is why you use a C-face on smaller motors, so you don't have to mess with this. Ah, yeah, okay. Okay, it even makes you take a picture. I mean, okay, big deal. Yeah, and there he is setting what the speed of the machine is. Yeah, the RPM between 1,000 to 2,000. It's at 50 hertz. So it must be they must have done this in Europe because it would have been 60 for us and it would have been like 1,800 revs. So they're gonna show you it can be done live, or are they gonna do the soft foot first? Soft foot is where you loosen one at a time, loosen off the corner or the bolts on each corner of the motor to see which one lifts up, because they never sit flat. So they're going to do that right now. So it should tell you to loosen it off, and it'll measure it and then tighten it down again. So you saw where they were looking at each other facing straight up, and now they're looking at on the side. This is how it checks to see how much it's out by. You have to make sure they're looking at each other properly. You can't just, there you go. You have to have it so the lasers are exactly lined up, and tighten everything down so it doesn't move at all. Right now he's showing how he's got to have them lined up in exactly the right spot. Now it's telling him, okay, he can even remove that in 3 dimensions. All right, that's really fancy stuff. I can't even do that. It is a hassle, James, but this helps with the longevity of your pump and motor. It cuts down on vibration, and it also helps so that there isn't any side forces on your bearings or anything like that. Having it lined up like this will definitely increase your longevity. Not something you do on a moving train, no, David. So this is how you take your measurements. You turn it this way and you turn it that way, and then it'll tell you. It'll be like, okay, you're out by this much, you're out by that much. Install a Gemco on the motor? What's a Gemco? Yeah, move it to the side, move it to the top, move it to the other side. It's all about the shafts. It might be measuring. I think it does that too, Godzilla. TIR, total what? Total indicator runout? There's the results. It'll tell you from top to top, like the top, how many shims to add, and then also side to side movements, how you have to adjust it. Oh, you're thinking about his motor speed, not alignment. Yeah, no. This is all about alignment. It looks like he's got to come up in the back a bit, and it will tell him how much. There you go. Put 0.21 millimeters in the front and 0.61 millimeters in the back. So they're going to want to, he's going to want to add, look at that. It's even SKF branded shims. Okay, they're really fancy. So he's going to make it measure 0.21 mils. Yeah, loosen it off. You should use a pry bar then and lift it up a bit. Oh, a Gemco is a motor speed adjust. Oh, like a VFD, variable frequency drive. Yeah, okay, he's using a pry bar, lifting up, and it's telling him to put that in. Now it's time for horizontal. So horizontal is really neat. If you have some, jam nuts or jacking bolts, Makes it really easy. So it's telling him it's got to move 0.29 in the front and 0.47. And it's doing it live, so you can see the numbers move as he's moving it. Okay, tighten it down. Now it's going to do a remeasure. So he'll probably go to the 3 spots again, moving his lasers at every one. There we go. Not sure which black art that Yumko uses. It's all magic. So it looks like he got it pretty close. Within 0.05 of a millimeter and 0.07 of a millimeter. So he's got check marks. So it's easy to know when you've made it within spec. And it looks like it'll even print a report and such like that for you. How much it had to be adjusted. So that's the SKF one. This thing is really high tech, way more high tech than what I've got. I mean, moving that thing around with in 3D, that's crazy. But yeah, that is that for the for laser alignment, which is what I'm gonna have to do tomorrow. Put the pump in, laser align it, and then fire it up. It's all black boxes and magic smoke past a certain point. Well, don't let the smoke out. Apparently, yeah, that's bad. I think you guys might have seen this before, but I wanted to show you this. Just a second here. There we go. You guys might have seen this before, but this is a dust cap from a cam lock. And this is what happens when sulfur vapor hits aluminum over a couple of years. You let out the magic smoke and it don't work no more. Yeah, exactly. So after a few years, this stuff, it just eats this. The sulfur vapor just eats this aluminum, which is crazy. Like this thing used to sit in here nicely. Yeah, I think you guys may have seen this before. I know some of you may not have. Some of the newer watchers, but like, look at that. Obviously, I picked up a new plastic one, and we use that now, and there's no problems. But this guy, look at that. There should be threads on the end of this thing. Embrittlement? Yeah, I mean, after being exposed to all that vapor all the time, it just, yes, corrosion, yes, James. And yeah, it ate it up, David. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, look at that. So aluminum and sulfur vapor do not mix. And I tried to show what it looked like. It used to look like this. The guys could pull on this ring. What is that now? That's it's an eye bolt. They used to be able to pull on this eye bolt to pull this cap off. But after all that exposure, it just gave up. Yeah, look at that. Just ate it. The U.S. Navy has aluminum ships that need replacements. What? Aluminum and mercury really don't mix? Yeah, it looks like it, doesn't it? What's that stuff? Gallium. Gallium is supposed to like just turn aluminum into just plastic. Like you can bust it with your bare hands. Just dump some gallium on aluminum and it just turns it into just mush. At least that's what I've heard anyway. What do we got going on here? Let's see. Yeah, David, you know, gallium's way worse. Let's see. So today, on the topic of safety, Full Metal Chemist. There you go. Recently learned about those. Junk. Some retired admiral's brain dead. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I recently got back one of these guys. In case you don't know what this is an air cart that you hook up some lines to, and you can breathe. It's got breathing air on it, so you just connect your line into it, put your mask on, and you can use this to supply the air you need without having to pack it on your back. But the regulator only lasted a year, and we didn't use this thing. We used this maybe 3 times, and the regulator blew it. It just caved in. It didn't work anymore. And so I had to send it away to get repaired, and they're like, "Yep, we got to replace the regulator. That'll be $1,200. Thanks very much." That includes, labor and all that stuff. But yeah, it's they put on a better brand of regulator so that it would last more than a year. So I was glad that they decided to do that. Replacing in kind is not a good idea with some things that fail early. So you may want to consider that whenever you're looking up stuff to replace. It's like, should we replace in kind or should we upgrade and have something better? And getting something better is better for safety wise anyway. So now this thing's back home at the shop and it's all ready to go. You guys can use it and not worry about it failing on them. The handy capable scuba tank. Yep, you got her, Godzillionaire. I like this thing because it's easy to tow around. Like you just grab onto the handle and go. And then you have a long enough hose, like a 50-foot hose is perfect. Plug it into your regulator. Boom, you're good. You're up doing your job, not having to pack the thing around. Hey, what's up, Fabric? How you doing, man? Last time you had a regulator blue, it cost $50 and a 6-pack of natural ice. There you go. No, this was a long time getting repaired because I wasn't sure who to send it to. But we finally got it sent away. So yeah, very handy. Don't have to pack it around on your back. But this one here, look at the price. It's $2,469. That's what these guys are charging anyway. Supply now. Yeah, you guys could probably get it cheaper. But it's handy to have around. And if you're work in a place that has lots of dangerous gas, then that's what you're gonna wanna get. There's also what was it? Bite escape. Mask. Like these guys here. So we have some of these escape hoods. These things are like $400 a piece. But we have to use, we really need them to have for people to be to escape if need arises. But we were looking around and we could find these ones. These are $40 and they do the same thing. You jam this thing in your mouth, put the nose plugs on, and run like hell. It's good for hydrogen sulfide. So, best viewers on Streambo. No thanks, Northwestern. I'll pass. So yes, rather than $400, getting $40 and buying a bunch of these for visitors. Obviously, they're not going to be. It's not going to be for us because, we're well aware and we're equipped and trained to use our SCBAs. This will be for people that are visiting, contractors and such. It's like, okay, if there's a release, then jam this in your mouth and run like hell. You can feel the tariffs already. Cost an extra 37 cents for a lap dance at the Beaver. Yeah, and maybe your tips will go up too, eh, Fabric? Actually, if you take some Canadian money, you can, if you polish up a loonie, it looks like a gold coin. So maybe you can fool them and be like, hey, look, it's a gold coin. Worth a shot anyway. So yeah, these things, we're going to get a bunch of these and we're going to use those. So it'll be interesting. I'll let you guys know how it goes with these. All right. I just got to check something here. Just give me a moment. Can you make waffles with that also? I don't know. Somebody will try though, you know. You know my place. Guys, try lots of silly things. I can't remember who it was the last time. But somebody said something about, where is it? About Grand Dwarf. It's a manga about small town craftsman skills are unmatched in another world. So that's pretty cool. You guys want to watch? You want to read about craftsman skills in another world? Sounds interesting to me, so I am definitely going to give it a chance. Give it a read, and I wonder if there's an anime about it out there. They drill through safety lights. Yes. Yeah, David. Yeah. Yeah, the old safety light. Still got to put that up as a short. Some good music to go with it, though, would help. Not quite sure what I should put. But yes, Grand Dwarf, the small town craftsman skills are unmatched in another world. Check that out. It's all about what it seems like is the craftsman trades. You can have a good old time. All right, well, I think we're just about ready to wrap it up here, folks. I just want to thank everybody that came by tonight. You know, there's always David Glenn and DJ Ronnie G, of course. Everyone's favorite kaiju, Godzillionaire. And James. And I think I even saw, was it Tanker or Rocker? From Twitch. From the Twitch side. Gotta slow down here. Anyways, it was one of you guys from the Twitch side. It was good to see you there. Of course, always Fabric Folds coming in when he's not out there treating the old animals. And Aris, how you doing, Aris? We're just getting ready to wrap things up here. You guys do me a favor, please hit that like button, subscribe or follow me if you haven't already. You know, spread the word, tell your friends, let them know old Pop's here. I have a recently released unboxing video celebrating some of the little Valkyries I got from Macross, which was great. Angry Canadian was able to get those for me. What a guy. I really appreciate that. There's other good channels out there too, people I personally watch and enjoy, like Pacific 414 and our very own DJ Ronnie G. You can always find him on the Monday show on Thursday. There's also Brandon the Anime Guy, Carl at the RNG Podcast. There's Tomby, Angry Canadian, Nerd for a Lifeform, our very own favorite penguin, Punkwaddle. He's always got some great penguin positivity. And then there's Infinite Metal. He is over on Twitch and Kick, and he is quite an entertaining streamer, playing his retro games and indie games, and amusing us with his Dragon Lord, the undead Dragon Lord, Skelly, who mocks and ridicules him for playing poorly. So that's always a fun time. Okay, coming up Saturday, I've got to get a God card. I'm trying my best to beat Kaiba for that God card, and then I can continue on the game. There's more rare hunters to battle, but first and foremost is getting that God card. Man, I just have to keep searching and searching, but I'll eventually run into Ishizu and fight Kaiba. Then after that, Sunday, on Sunday Anime Chat, March is for Macross. If you want to know about Macross and what it's all about, anything like that, we already went through Super Dimensional Fortress Macross, the Do You Remember Love movie, and Flashback 2012. We went through all those the first week. This week coming up will be Macross 7 and Macross Plus. Two very different shows. One is an OVA, which means it's got OVA quality animation. And one was a TV show, which is the animation is going to be, reused cells and scenes because the budget's not that big. But we'll go through Macross 7 and Macross Plus. And maybe you'll learn a little bit more about it. And it might convince you to watch one of them. DJ, you think you got Sunday off? Well, it'll be good to see you here. Bring all your Macross friends. Especially, or if people don't want to, or people that don't know about it and they want to learn, you should bring them too. And then after that, we're around to Tuesday again. More trades talk, more pictures, more videos, more of me showing you guys what the operators can do. You know, because there are people out there that can wreck anvils, believe it or not. And I think I worked with a few of those people. So there's quite the comedy of errors that happen at times. So I'll try to keep you all up to date on that. But yes, once again, smack the like button, spread the word, let everybody know. I am going to be heading off, probably watching some more anime shows because I have to catch up on what I'm behind on. There's a lot of good shows this season. I'm up to 17 shows. So I've got to get caught up because the next season will be here before you know it. I think it'll start in April. All right, everyone. I had a fun time tonight. I hope you did too. I hope you might have even learned a few things. And if you did, that's great. And I hope to see you the next time. And I hope to see you on Saturday. And if not, then maybe Sunday. But until then, I've been Pop, and I am signing off.